I'm seeing you live, and I also see a picture of you. Um, so, for in your picture, your eyes are blue, and in live, your eyes are brown. There you go. Now I just have one of you.
I'm sorry. That's an old photo.
Well, how are you?
I'm doing well. I promise not to keep you long. I have no more than about 10 questions to ask you, and they're more or less short and simple and to the point. It is okay to record this for accuracy purposes?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. Good.
All right. My first question for you, I am not from Savannah at all. I'm from Texas, and I transferred over here to finish my degree. But I do notice that Savannah is a highly attractive city for tourism. Why is that?
Well, I think there are many reasons that Savannah is as popular as it is. First of all, an incredible history and heritage here in our community, long time, dating back to the Civil War, and General Sherman's march to the sea from Atlanta to the coast, where he burned every city from Atlanta all the way to Savannah. But when he got here, he fell in love with how beautiful the city was and did not burn the city. So I think our history and our heritage, our connections to the Gullah Geechee culture, is significant. So I think our history and heritage is number one. I think how beautiful the city is relative to the beautiful live oaks and Spanish moss and the azaleas in the springtime, and the weather most of the time is pretty ideal. And then I think number three, Savannah offers that special type of Southern hospitality and is a very welcoming community to visitors. So I think our heritage, I think our weather, and I think our hospitality.
Okay. As you are the vice president of Visit Savannah, correct?
President of Visit Savannah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
As president for Visit Savannah, what were your first thoughts when COVID, first hit our area?
Well, we just like everybody else on the planet, we had no idea what to expect. We had no idea that the pandemic would virtually shut down travel. And our industry is the travel and tourism industry, and so when March happened and we had to cancel St. Patrick's Day, which is a huge festival and celebration in our city, that really rocked us. Really rocked us hard. I mean, cancel St. Patrick's Day, that's never happened in 100+ years. Then April came and everybody was locked down and not traveling and so forth. So we didn't know what to expect back then, and frankly, even as we sit here today in the early part of September, we don't know what tomorrow will bring. And,
right.
It's difficult for us. Think about pre-pandemic, we had about 28,000 Savannahans that were employed in the hospitality and tourism industry.
Right.
And probably 6,000 or 7,000 of those people have lost their jobs through this. So, and it's the kinds of jobs that you can't afford to lose. It's the dishwashers and the housekeepers and the bellmen and the waiters and waitresses, that depend on tourism to make a living. And so it's been a tough ride for us.
Right. Have you spoken with any tourists recently? And if so, what were their concerns dealing with COVID?
Ask the question again, please.
I said, have you spoken with any tourists recently? And if so, what were their concerns with COVID?
Well, we talk to visitors all the time, and things are changing. But every part of the country is managing this pandemic a little bit differently. In the Northeast and the upper Midwest, I'm from Ohio, and in New York and Boston and Ohio, they're still very much on lockdown and afraid to go out to eat in a restaurant. Conversely, here in the South and specifically Savannah, we're a little more relaxed about it. We tend to not hesitate to go out and enjoy a meal in a restaurant as long as you have your mask on and so forth. So I think, when I interact with visitors to our city, I think that they are surprised that Georgia and Savannah have opened up as much as they have. At the same time, we have a mayor here in Savannah that's been very aggressive about wearing your mask, and it's paid off. I mean, our case numbers are dropping, our death numbers are dropping, and I think a lot of that has to do with the hard line that our mayor has taken to say this is how we're going to do it in Savannah.
And speaking of the mask and hesitation, although there is a city mandate to wear a mask, I've noticed there are a high number of citizens and tourists who don't really care to put on a mask. So what precautions have you noticed that the businesses downtown have been taking, just to make sure that they can try and maintain the spread of COVID?
Yeah, I think the businesses are doing a really good job of making sure that their staff wear the masks and so forth. So I think locally, the businesses have taken this very seriously. I think as it relates to the visitors, it's a little harder because our temperatures have been, except for yesterday and today, our temperatures have been in the mid to high 90s for the last couple of weeks. And, so you have people that have come here for a getaway weekend. They've probably been stuck in their house or their apartment, stuck with the kids, and they've come here for a getaway weekend, and it's 96 degrees, and, they want to walk around, and they don't want to wear that mask all the time.
Right.
But in talking with hoteliers, in talking with retailers, talking with restaurants, most feel like our visitors are being respectful when they walk into the business to have a mask on. And so, while they're walking around outside, maybe they don't wear it, but when they walk into the business, they seem to be playing by the rules.
Oh, good. I have heard that there's been a couple of businesses who had to shut down because either their employee may have caught it or the business owner themselves may have caught it. How many of those businesses have closed down, and if they are still closed down, are they going to reconsider reopening?
Yeah, there's no way to know how many have or haven't, because sometimes a business will close for just a day or a couple of days and then open back up. Some might close, for a week or 2 or 3 and then open back up. I anticipate we're going to have some casualties. We're going to lose some businesses through this. I mean, it's you don't know if a business might have been on the rocks and maybe ready to close their doors when the pandemic happened, and now this has pushed them over the edge. So I definitely expect that we'll have some casualties and lose some restaurants and lose some retail shops. But for the most part, the Savannah visitor product is open. The tours are running, the museums are open, the restaurants are open. Many of the retailers are. They may not be open 7 days a week like they used to, but for the most part, Savannah is open for business.
Okay. Will Savannah host any other holiday events before the end of the year?
It's hard to say. We've had a number of cancellations already. I know that the Savannah Film Festival, which is a SCAD festival, has gone totally virtual for this October. We have, for the last 10 years, have hosted the Savannah Rock and Roll Marathon, which I know goes to the Savannah State campus, and that has already been canceled. The Savannah Food and Wine Festival has already been canceled. So, we're hoping by the time we get to Thanksgiving and Christmas, things will lighten up a little bit, but I think it's still a little too early to tell.
Okay. And of course, like you said, COVID may be here longer than we hope. What plans do you have as far as events go for 2021? Is it too early to say?
I think it is still a little too early. We did learn recently that the Savannah book festival, which typically happens in February, it has already canceled. But we're hopeful that the Savannah Black Heritage Festival will still happen. We're hopeful that the Savannah St. Patrick's Day Festival and the Savannah Music Festival will still happen. Mm-hmm. So, we have high hopes for those events, but, it's still a little too early to tell.
What would you say is Savannah's biggest attraction besides St. Patrick's Day?
Well, there's many ways to answer that question. River Street is a very, very popular visitor destination. People enjoy going to River Street. They enjoy going to the city market area. They enjoy shopping and dining on Broughton Street and so forth. There's lots of different answers to that. Even just visiting Tybee Island is extremely popular to a lot of people. So in some cases, it's our historic landmarks that are attractive. In some cases, it's the variety of restaurants that we have. In some cases, it's the tours and the museum. So we have lots of different reasons for people to visit our city.
Okay. I believe you already answered this for me, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you think there will be a St. Patrick's Day event for the new year?
Oh, yeah, I think there will be some type of St. Patrick's Day celebration. What that looks like, only time will tell. But we have a very large and very deep-rooted Irish community here.
Right.
And I think it was a big blow to lose St. Patrick's Day 2020.
Right.
So I think everybody's interested in working together to make sure that there's some sort of St. Patrick's Day celebration in 2021. Again, like we said a couple of minutes ago, it's a little too early to predict what that will look like. But I think, as a community, we certainly want to have St. Patrick's Day back again.
Right. What advice would you give to citizens and tourists that come into Savannah?
What advice would I give to what?
Tourists and citizens of Savannah, mid-COVID?
Yeah. The best advice I can give is play by the rules, right? And the rules today are wear a mask whenever you're going to a public business. Be mindful of your social distancing and so forth. We have lots of examples of how playing by the rules is working for us. So whether you're a citizen or a visitor, you're both important to us. We just want to make sure that, hey, if the governor or the mayor says wear a mask, wear a mask.
Right.
Is it annoying? Yeah, it's a little annoying. Is it uncomfortable? Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable. Is it a huge deal? No, it's not a huge deal. So,
right.
I think we all want the same thing. We all want to enjoy this beautiful city, whether you live here or visit here. And to do that, you got to play by the rules, and the rules aren't that difficult to follow.
Right. And is there anything else you would like to say before I let you go?
The only thing I'd like to say is, Savannah is a world-class tourism destination that welcomes visitors from every part of this globe. And we, like I said earlier, we have thousands and thousands of people that rely on tourism jobs to support their families. And so whether whoever's watching this interview, if they're local, I encourage them, go out and support area businesses, get people back to work again. And if you're a visitor coming to our city, come here, play by the rules, enjoy this beautiful city, and spend a lot of money when you're here.
I thank you so much for your time, Mr. Marinelli.
Thank you. Good luck to you and your project. And if we can ever help you, don't hesitate to call.
Absolutely. And as soon as this gets published, I will email you the article.
Great. Have a great day. Thanks for calling.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.